meeting on August the 29th. Dr. Jones.
Here.
Counselor Waltney.
He's on his way.
Counselor Olamon.
He is not going to be here. He just texted me.
Okay, Counselor Smith.
Here.
And Counselor Harden.
Here.
So for right now, they're all going to be either Smith Harden or Harden Smith.
Yeah, that's
Right.
exactly right.
Okay, but you have a quorum.
Okay, great.
Three present.
Okay, the minutes came in August
Oh, yes.
15th. Is there a motion to dismiss with the reading
Yes,
and
I would
approve
make
as
that
distributed?
motion.
Second.
Mrs. Smith, second by Mr. Harden. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed by the same sign. It passes 3-0. All right, Hollis is here again, 250417, consideration of 18th Street revitalization project. What do we have anything new to report this week?
Nothing too new. They're still doing some grading work up around the valley. They've got it graded from the driveway Board of Education. They're stopping short of the intersection until they get some equipment in for the traffic signal. So they're still waiting on that to be delivered, but they've been making progress up there. That's about it for now.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
I had a resident reach out to me and complain, and I don't think it's them, but I'm just going to ask you anyway. JJ got the same email about like when people come through to drop like at the mailbox. You know how now it goes around the back. There was a bunch of stuff like in the
Alleyway.
Yeah, and somebody was complaining about it. They were like, I don't know. So I said, I'm not sure if it was, I told him, I was like, I'm not sure if that was the construction that's being done on the old Jim and Jim's building, stuff from them, because they've got multiple projects going on over there, or if it was something from 18th Street. I said, but it's all gonna get cleaned up when the project is over. I said, but I'll ask when I have a chance to ask if that was, do you have any idea?
We can check with the contractor.
Okay, well, you just
I'm sure
ask
it's
them.
not their stuff.
Yeah, I feel like it's not. I feel like it's from another project.
It was okay this time.
Oh, it was?
There wasn't any junk.
Okay, nice, good to
Are there
know.
no parking signs back there? I mean, do we have?
In the alley?
Yeah, so people don't block it. So park there.
No, I don't think there's any, no parking signs. We put up the one-way signs. I
Which one
haven't
do we
seen
need?
anybody
Yellow
ever
curb or
park.
something?
No, there's not really a curb, it's yellow.
Yeah, it's not a curb.
It's just a flat.
Okay.
I've never seen anybody parked in there. I don't know. I mean, I did see a pickup truck one day there, but he was getting something in his truck and
Okay.
driving off.
The street's not that wide, so.
Yeah.
If someone parks there, they know that they're blocking the road.
Yeah, because it's clearly a through
Right.
alley.
And then the building that we were concerned over the right of way, that looks like that's been shored up. this
Yeah,
week.
well, they took the front off of it.
Right.
So they
Right.
took it down on
Yeah.
the side.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. So that's good news. That's not gonna slow you down at all, right? Okay. Okay, great. Okay, any other questions? We'll carry that over without objection. Thank you, Holly. 090722, bid date set for September 12th at 4 o'clock.
I got it, John.
Avenue, yeah.
I was gonna tell you, you can probably figure this out, but these dates kinda got weird because originally we were gonna have this meeting before council on the 12th. So you're not gonna really meet again. So I didn't know if you want to send those out without recommendation, because if you open them on the 12th and they're ready to move on the 12th, you won't have a chance to look at them again. That's the reason why they were set on the 12th, because originally we were gonna have these this.
Oh, we were gonna have
round of
committee
before,
meetings.
Because Labor Day's next week.
Right.
And so,
But does it matter then?
But are we, once we open them on the 12th, do we
Just depends on
have
if they're gonna
time
be ready.
between then and council
that's a Cal question. You gonna be able to look at them and turn them around
and
at council?
make a recommendation? I mean,
You don't need
typically, I
to.
thought that takes.
For the bids? Yes. I mean,
So-
we'll open so what I imagine is happening is we open the bids, we know what it is, and then we put those into the budget.
No, but my question is,
look at them.
when we open them at 4:30,
Yeah.
4 o'clock all the way to 4:30, you've got 4 projects.
That's right.
Do you have time between 4:30 and 6 p.m. to make a recommendation based on opening those bids?
Are you anticipating not being overwhelmed by bids?
I anticipate maybe, hopefully 2 or 3 or 4.
Okay.
Per project.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so then in light of that, then I would say that we we should send out, with that recommendation pending the bid opening, and then we'll then open them on the 12th, and then go to council with that recommendation, and then you can report to council, and we'll make the recommendation.
And if there was an issue, we could always just carry
And
it
Councilor
over.
White had us carrying, we had him here, and we also had him on the agenda, so that's the reason why, just to get him off your agenda. But they are, so if they couldn't do it, I guess President White could send them back here for the next meeting.
Yeah. You
They're
can
in
send it
both
back
places
down.
right now, but I just figured you wanted to clear your agenda since you weren't gonna be
Yeah.
to deal with them again till after the council. But, that he could always send them back to you if Kel wasn't ready for them and you moved them out, that recommendation. He'd send them back, it's just whatever you wanted. I was just bringing up, that's why they got a weird date on them.
Yeah.
Because initially we were gonna have meetings
Right, before
your
then.
meeting before the 12th.
Well, then let's just, I'll make a motion for 09/07/22 to send it out, without recommendation to council, full council without recommendation pending the bid opening on the 12th.
I'll second that.
Good move by Ms. Smith, second by Mr. Harden. Any other questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed by the same sign, 3-0, that passes. 10/07/22 bid date for Delcris sidewalks, that's at 410.
Same motion.
Okay, same motion.
I'll second it.
That recommendation, Smith and Harden. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed by the same sign, 3-0, that passes. 11/07/22 bid date, September 12th for Huntington Stormwater Culvert Replacement.
Same.
Same motion, Mrs. Smith, second by
Second.
Mr. Harden. Any other
Thank you.
questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed by the same sign, 3-0, that passes. 03/08/22 bid date September 12th for College Avenue Stormwater Improvements.
Same motion.
Same motion,
Second.
Mrs. Smith, second by Mr. Harden.
Yeah, but given
Comments,
some
questions?
work to do.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed by the same sign, that's 3-0. Thank you. You're gonna be working hard though for an hour and a half, okay? So
You're gonna have to like go in
be ready.
a quiet,
Okay.
airtight room
Yeah.
for an hour and a half.
09/08/22, request to accept grant item for Historic Preservation Commission. We have Mr. Griffith here for that, and we're always happy when I see a grant come in. So I have a copy of the grant here,
Here, will you sign
and I'm gonna let you go over.
Yeah, I'll go over it. What this is, if you've never seen this, Travel Stories is an app on your phone, and it's travel and stories is STORYS. And there are 4 within this location, and if you have this app, every time you go to an area, it pops up. So we have one that's the Red Mountain Park. We have Jewish Birmingham and Civil Rights, this starts within a half a mile of us. We have one that includes a driving tour of the Red Mountain Iron Ore Trail and includes Vulcan. So all of these are near here. And we're gonna use this grant to do one for Homewood, so we will highlight a couple of historic properties in each of the wards. And this will give you a driving tour of Homewood, so you can look at all the different neighborhoods. So this would help for really people coming to shop in Homewood or looking for a house. It'll give them a guided tour around Homewood and highlight the historic sites.
How much do you get from that? How much are you getting?
We pay them. Oh, from the grant? No, I thought you meant from Travel Stories. We're getting $5,500 from them.
5550.
$5,550 is the grant amount. The total project cost is $9,250. That's $700 out of our budget and $3,000 worth of donated labor. So we have to write the scripts, do the training, do the beta testing, do the photography, the narration. So we've all agreed to do that. So it's a 60% match. 60% we provide the other 40% primarily through
Well, and the good news is, before Jake rolled off, he had already kind of come up with a list of suggested places, and a lot of it is stuff that he covered in his book. So we already have the information,
and some
The high school students probably got to go. They got it.
yes, I'm sure they
Yeah,
did.
we've
So,
got
yeah.
some photographs too. The good
Yeah.
part is this has been delayed a little bit because we're just closing out last year.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Eddie, so
Yeah,
much.
thank you so much.
I would make a motion to accept the grant for the Homewood Historical Preservation Commission for the, travel stories.
Second.
Okay, moved by Mrs. Smith, second by Mr. Harden. And that amount is $5,550. Okay, any other questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed by the same sign. 3-0, that passes.
Thank you, Eddie.
Thank you, Eddie.
Thank you, Eddie.
They're
10
gonna pay their part out of the historic line item,
Out of their,
correct?
yes, out of
Okay.
their, yeah. And then they're also then doing the work that constitutes the other portion.
All right,
It's not HEC.
10-08-22, request to consider
That's
paying
environmental
tier
protection. This is
year-end
historic
bonus
preservation.
contingent upon the city completing fiscal year 21-22 with the general fund surplus. As we have over the years done this, and it's contingent on a bonus upon a surplus. The tiers are basically 1 to 3 years. We've awarded a $350 bonus, 4 to 6 years of service, $500, 7 to 9, $750, 10 to 15,000, 16 to 19, 1,500, and then 20 plus years, 2,000. And we have historically grossed that up, meaning we're paying FICA, we're paying all the taxes, so they should be getting that amount. Last year, it came in around 336,000, but we're still working on that. So it's really the pleasure of the committee if you want to move to pay it contingent upon the
I mean, in my
the
mind,
surplus, or send it to.
we're gonna be back here on the 19th before we approve the budget on the 26th, and we'll probably have a clearer picture then than we do now. If there's gonna be a surplus, so I mean, in my view, we just carry it over here
Okay.
until, because we're gonna talk about it in budget hearings anyway.
Got it. Okay.
Don't you think? I mean, I don't.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And I'd love to know what the total amount would be. If we did this, I remember this being about what we did last year. What did that cost? What do you think that cost?
I think last year it was like
336.
Yeah, 336.
And there's really no way to know with 100% because
Yeah, we're
if
gonna
you
do
leave
some-
before 9:30, but
Right.
kind of close to it.
Yeah, so we're working on the numbers. I think that's a good idea. And then we are, Robert and Melody are also working on a total compensation statements, and to kind of give us an idea of, what the total amount that we're providing our employees, so that you're not just looking at one item, not just COLA or not just merit, but what's the overall, amount that we paid. I mean, we paid ARPA funds last year, as you recall. So it's helpful to kind of see what the total amount that we're helping employees, and that goes to the health insurance. A lot of times we've looked at passing the increases, which we have every year, onto the employee, but we have not done that. So kind of looking at the overall picture. So without objection, we'll carry that over pending the budget hearings, and we'll talk through that and then make a motion at that point.
Yeah.
I got it.
I did two sheets, so I
Okay.
passed it up.
Moving on, 11-08-22, request to amend 21-22 budget for Parks and Rec Department, coming to us from Mr. Squires, and then Robert is passing out those.
Mr. Kinder, I can do both of
These
those.
this is not new money.
Thank you.
These are transfers, and so we have one from, mainly that's from, taken from wages to building and grounds and contractual services. So,
Is that more trees, I'm guessing?
You had something
Yeah,
to
the
make
49
that.
is for like a dead tree removal.
Yeah.
No, the 49 stands for a water leak.
Oh.
Contractual services for dead tree
Dead
removal.
tree. All right, and then the two down there for fleet are small.
yeah.
Trees.
Okay, I would make a motion to approve the budget amendments as presented.
I'll second on that.
Moved by Mrs. Smith, second by Mr.
No,
Carter.
they're separate items, sorry. I was trying to make them one page.
You got two different budgets.
Yeah, so that's just for the parks.
That's just for
right?
parks, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so you make the same motion for the next one.
I will, indeed do
Maybe,
that.
maybe.
I'll
Okay,
keep you
any
in
other
suspense.
questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed by the same sign. 3-0. And then the 12-08-22, amend 21-22 for fleet, and that is down there, it's the 1250.
And motion to approve of those as well.
Okay,
I'll
Mrs.
second.
Smith, second by Mr. Hart. Any other questions on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed by the same sign, 3-0. All right, and then under the tabled items, the 0405, there's no reason to keep that on there, right? So,
Right,
Yeah,
I understand.
that's what Bram said.
Yeah, to be purchasing the different.
Take the tree item, okay. All right, I would move to take 040521 off the table.
And I'll second that.
okay, moved by Mrs. Smith, second by Mr. Harden. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed by the same sign, that's
And then-
3-0. Mr. Walton is in the house.
And then I would move to drop.
Okay, moved by
I'll
Mrs.
second that.
Smith to drop, second by Mr. Harden. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed
You
by the
voting on
same
that,
sign.
Mr. Walton, or no? Okay, so she's.
Yes, no idea what we're talking about.
3-0, and we're adjourned.